Crone's Book of Spells and Charms. Ooh, a charm to turn back the spirits of the dead. Where the mistletoe cleaves to some living tree, there to feed its many berries, fleshed pale and waxen as the flesh of corpses, you must go in company, for to go alone would be perilous. And wrench from their fastenings a few stems well furnished with white fruit. Carry them home, and spread them out at night upon a table covered with a black cloth. Set at random in their midst 5 black candles, burning, and at their center a clear glass vessel. Bring then to the table all of these, a red wine of the medoc, M-E-D-O-C, a strained tincture of red carnation petals infused in alcohol, an oil of red storax, don't know what storax is, and 5 fragments of bone. Set them down in a row and speak this incantation. Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about using your body as a map for magical record keeping and correspondences. I usually talk about correspondences negatively, you might say. I wrote a blog post. The link is down below if you're not looking at this on my website, called I Don't Believe in Correspondences, except when I do. Because really what I'm rejecting when I reject magical correspondences, it's those tables that come in books on magic, Wiccan books, ceremonial magic, witchcraft. A lot of times they will have either spells, like the one that I just read to you from this. I love this book, Crone's Book of Charms and Spells. It's extremely charming. I love these books. I love reading all of these spells. I'm not saying I'm hating on them. I'm just saying when I look at those correspondence tables, something in me is like, bullshit. And I think that's because I came to magic through the law of attraction. Just using the power of my will and energy to make something happen. So when I got around to studying witchcraft and I was reading about all these bells and whistles and climb to the top of the mountain to get the twig of this special rare tree that only grows like on this certain day, in this certain season, get the fat from a baby's arm, all this weird stuff in the spells, and then also in the correspondences, people saying they stack their spells, magic spells, typically with a lot of different. The point is to stack it with as much energy as you can that is in alignment with the spell. So use this herb that corresponds with money, this color that corresponds with money, this planetary alignment that corresponds with money, this element that corresponds with money, money, money when you're doing a money spell. And there's never, in my opinion, I don't mean never. There's usually, in my opinion, no rhyme or reason to these correspondences. And I think it's because some of them are just made up, really. And many of them, I think, come from a time and a place and a culture that does not resonate with me. A modern witch here in California, wherever you are, being a modern witch, whatever, or magical practitioner, however you want to look at yourself. A lot of times, these books, they're pulling from different cultures, or archaic, they use a lot of archaic language, or folklore. I will say about folklore that there is some truth. Sometimes a lot of wisdom was put into these folk tales and folklore, I think, to carry them forward and to make them memorable for verbal traditions that weren't necessarily written down. So for example, St. John's wort. If you carry St. John's wort on you, it's supposed to be protective according to certain folklore. Well, we know now, thanks to science, that St. John's wort is protective. It can protect you against depression. It can protect you from UV rays. It has like a sunscreen quality to it. It can protect you from, it's like a natural antibiotic. Rosemary for remembrance. It's so romantic. Rosemary for remembrance. Well, come to find out, research has proven that there's a lot of truth to that, because students that smell rosemary right before they take a test, it has been proven that they are more alert, they perform better on their tests. It's got like a refreshing, energizing quality to it. So rosemary really is for remembrance. Who knew? But there are a lot of others that I just kind of like scratch my head at, especially when you get into like gods, relationships, like deities' relationships with certain planets, and how, you know, this planet aligns with this day of the week and you need to perform this kind of magic on this day, and it's bad to perform this kind of magic on that day. So I wanted to talk about today keeping your own magical record of personal correspondences and using your body as a map for that. So using your senses, using your bodily sensations, using sight, sound, touch, taste, all of your senses to create your own magical correspondences, things that truly resonate with you personally. I've been talking about method acting on my podcast recently. I was just talking about the animal exercise, which is a really cool method acting technique. That was on Tuesday's episode of WiTCHY, if you want to go back and listen to that. But today I wanted to mention another really famous classic method acting technique called sense memory. Both of these I think are so potent when you work them into your magic. These are techniques that were designed for actors to get to the place where they're actually experiencing a character authentically, so that the audience can experience it as well. So they are having a real emotion instead of just putting some glycerin drops in their eyes and like pretending to cry. They're actually crying, and so the audience cries with them. So you might see how that could be really powerful for your magic. So the way that sense memory works is, well, it takes a lot of time to build up, to practice, but magic is a practice, right? So we don't mind a little bit of practice. So I'm gonna tell you the way actors do this, but make it for magicians, make it for witches, make it for people who love the law of attraction and like to get really, really creative with it. So let's say that you want to manifest a really loving, beautiful, cozy, safe home environment for your family. So the way that you would use sense memory to do this is you travel back into your memory and you land on a time in your life where you actually felt that. And for you, that might be in your grandmother's kitchen. So using your powers of imagination, you put yourself back in your grandma's kitchen and as much as you possibly can, and then you try to identify what the strongest sense is for you. For a lot of people, it is the scent of smell. I am one of those people. So let's say that's true for you, and that your grandma made the best chocolate chip cookies in the whole wide world, and it smelled amazing, and the second you walked into the room, you got that cozy, safe, super loved feeling that you want to create for your family. So the practice comes in practicing, going back there in your mind and really connecting to the smell of those specific homemade, grandma loved up chocolate chip cookies. And you practice this enough times to where eventually you don't have to imagine the kitchen, you don't have to go back in time, you can just call up that scent at will to create that emotion. Of course, you could use, like the smell of chocolate chip cookies. You could bake yourself a batch using grandma's recipe. but this is more magical, don't you think? To just be able to call this up at will anytime you want. It takes practice, but I promise you, I know from experience, it is absolutely possible. One of the first things I shared when I was talking about method acting is I was talking about something called the orange exercise that beginning students of method acting, most of us have to start with the dreaded orange exercise. Because you can get stuck on this for a long time, because what you have to do is convincingly eat an imaginary orange to the point where your teacher or the other students in the room are like salivating because they so believe it, because you so believe it. You're smelling it, you're tasting it, you're feeling it, you may even be hearing it. It's so juicy and delicious, and you're so in having the experience that everybody else in the room is having it with you. So that's another example of sense memory. And then also, I just think, we live in a day where we can benefit from science. Science makes a lot of mistakes all the time, or we would still be like bloodletting each other every time we get a disease. But it's done some really cool research, and we can capitalize on that. So we know, for example, and even before science, humans have always known this, I'm pretty sure, that tears are cleansing and laughter is uplifting. So why not put that on your magical correspondence list? Why not? I know it's not as exciting as like the toenail of a giant found in the Amazonian forest, but sometimes practicality beats out on the magical mysteries of tapping into an old grimoire, because I think a lot of us, we live busy lives and we want our magical practice to be effective and practical and not to take up a shit ton of time. We don't have time to go troll these obscure little markets looking for these weird ingredients. That's fun. I totally recommend doing that sometime just for the experience of it, or as a hobby, or maybe you have a lot of time to just do that full time, but I personally do not. So I guess my point is, you don't have to strictly follow the rules that you find in a book. No book is going to know better than your body. Our bodies they're like the Akashic records of your cells. They hold every memory. They're so sensitive. They can tell you so much that you don't know intellectually. They can inform your life. Your body can inform your life if you let it, and it can inform your magic as well. So I think that's just a really cool starting point for starting your own personal list of correspondences. Just thinking about the different senses. Maybe just start listing out, just experimenting and brainstorming with each scent, the sense of smell, the sense of sound, visual stimulation, and just go through and start listing things that you associate to whatever, sex, money, love, the three biggies, whatever you might be doing a spell for, and then use them in your magic, and see if some themes start emerging for you, things that you can use in the future, the next time you want to do a money spell or a love spell. Make sure you pull from what worked from before, and in that way you can create your own grimoire, or book of shadows, for magical record keeping for you, and to pass on to future generations if you like. Until we meet again, much love, peace.